Hello and welcome to Clementine Made Me Do It, a sewing vlog set in the North Woods of Maine. This is the first episode and I just wanted to share with you some things I've finished for the month of August, my fabric haul, and some plans for the month of September. This will be a monthly vlog about what I'm doing with fabric and maybe some hand sewing thrown in there. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some finished objects. I was lucky enough to pick up the Merchant and Mills workbook, and I was looking to make a slip to wear underneath tunics and dresses, just something that can kind of peek out the bottom or underneath, almost like a petticoat. And so I decided I would try and sew up the curlew, which ranges from a t-shirt to a sleeveless, to a tank, to a dress. And I did it as a tunic length, and it's coming up. Here it is. So it's cut on the bias, so it has some interesting shaping that goes with it. I'm going to be kind of careful. And here it is. And what I did is I amended the tank version, and it's just a little bit longer, probably hits just to my knee. So I did do some amendments. So this is what mine looks like. It's just a little bit longer right here. Pretty simple, you know, a couple pieces of bias binding, and it has an interesting cut in the back. So it's all one piece cut in the front, and in the back it's cut, it has a seam between the bodice top and the skirt. And I opted to not do that. I actually graded in that top to the bottom. And I'm thinking next time I will do as written. It kind of pulls over my rear a little bit, my derriere. And I'm thinking that that seam line actually helps create a little bit of ease over the hind end, if you will. So here it is. I did this out of some scrap linen that I had hanging around my stash. I think I got it at Joann's. And like I said, I think it's wearable underneath something, but definitely the issues with the back made it something I probably wouldn't just wear out and about. But it's probably easier if I actually try it on for you. You can see the facing here, and it does have bust darts, and they're kind of a curved bust dart. I admit I went through this pretty quickly, and I didn't really pay lots of attention to perfection. The fabric was wicked slippery and hard to work with, and so creating evenness with the darts was a little bit tricky. But again, since I plan to just wear this as an under tunic, I wasn't as concerned. I don't know if you can see the darts in that video. So I just need to finish the hem and do the armholes, and then that will be finished and ready to be. I hope in the future episodes that I'll be able to actually model the finished items. However, based on some time constraints and lack of support and resources, I think I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I've done and amend some of these technical issues as I move forward. So I had already talked to you about the curlew. This is the Cross-Backed Apron by Indigo Junction. I did the adult version, and you can see how it kind of comes together, and it's got pockets on either side. I did it out of chambray. It is technically reversible, but I did the pockets on one side. I picked up this material at Clementine in Rockland, which is a magical sewing shop, the closest one to me that I want to shop at. As I mentioned, I live in the North Woods, and it's about 2.5 hours for me, so I tend to stock up when I'm there. So here it is out of the chambray. Just give you a nice close-up of that. Nice and wrinkly. Really comfortable. Here's the contrasting colors, just kind of like a basic, almost denim look. I plan on bringing this into school. I am a speech language pathologist, hanging it in my classroom, and then I'll have it there for the day. I'm making another apron I'll tell you a little bit about in my haul, so that I can change them out. I would make this again in a heartbeat, and I could see it in another chambray, or some really nice linen. But I can also see it as its own frock. Obviously the back would be problematic for coverage, but if you wore a cami or a tunic or a slip underneath, I think you could get away with this as its own garment. The other thing I finished was the Anne Carolyn smock by Ellen Mason, and it comes in shirt length, tunic, and dress. It has pockets. I omitted that. I didn't do the pockets. She's really great with her patterns. This is the first one she's published. Really helpful, really clear instructions. And one of the things I really love about this pattern is the way she broke down your fabric and what you need. So what you need for the yoke, what you need for the sleeves, what you need for just the shirt section. So that way if you want to play around with different colors or you have scraps, it's all kind of here, and you can pick and choose, or if you're ordering fabric online. So this is the Great Hunt. Can't remember the fabric designer, but and this is the tunic length. And I plan to wear the curlew underneath this, so you'll get a little bit of that linen. I am right here. You'll get a little bit of that linen at the bottom, and leggings and a pair of boots. It does look good with a belt. It's an A-line shape, so I've cinched it with a belt and it looks great. And it has a little bit of the Middle Earth, if you will. I know I'm a total nerd about hobbits and things, but it has a little bit of that look to it, but still kind of keeping it modern with the leggings and whatever boots or shoes you choose to wear or not. So anyway, it's very comfortable. I like the way it fits. You notice it had a raglan shaped shoulder, and she's got these darts that you put into the shoulder to kind of create shaping over here. So I see more of these in my future. One thing I'm thinking of doing is a lot of these in linen and then making petticoats or slips out of fun fabrics, just to peek out at the top and at the bottom. So yeah, so I love that. Can't wait to wear it. I wish it would cool off enough that I could put that on with a pair of leggings and a pair of boots. So for September plans, I had been asked by my dear sweet husband to make him a flannel shirt. I've chosen to use, it's Negrani. It's an intermediate pattern, Walden by Colette Patterns. And we're doing the long sleeve version, and I'm doing it in this flannel. He is a green fiend. He's a ranger. He's a park ranger, law enforcement park ranger, and so it's all about the green here in this house. So I picked this out, kind of a bigger plaid to work with. So this will be the first time I've done a men's shirt, cuffs and pattern matching, etc. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get some support from my sewing Jedi friend Janny of Estelle of Starcroft, and I'm sure other support, including her daughter, my other Jedi sewing friend Leah, will be there as well. So Leah owns Clementine, and super, super helpful even over the phone. I've had to call her on a number of occasions to get some advice. So that's up for September. I also plan to do a Marianne by Christine Haynes. This is a knit dress. I'm going to be doing this version. I did one with some really fun Charlie Harper fabric, and for this version of Marianne, I will be using these two. So this green is actually more Kelly green, picking up here, and this is white and green. So this will be the main portion of the dress, and the green will be the yoke and cuffs. And yeah, these are really comfortable and easy to wear, both for school and out. Just kind of funky and a great addition to a fall and winter wardrobe. I'm also going to be making and amending. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be doing, this is Renfrew. This is Sewaholic pattern. I'm doing version C with this great cowl, except I'm going to extend these lines down and I'm going to do like a dress tunic length. And I'm going to be doing it out of this knit, which is a 95% cotton, 5% spandex. The green leaves that you saw was 100% cotton and no spandex, or lycra. So this will become this as a dress. This does have some directional element to it. I got to be careful of that. But I got to try this on at the store. Again, I purchased this at Clementine. I think everything you've seen so far I purchased at Clementine in one big fabric haul. The great thing about that shop is there's that stuff you can try on. So I tried this on as the shirt version, and it was so comfortable and fit so perfectly that I decided I wanted to do it. And I didn't think a shirt was really what I wanted, though. I love that cowl neck, and Leah told me that her employee Kathleen had made a couple of these and just made them dresses, and I was sold. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting that done. The beauty of knits, of course, is I really don't have to finish seams. I just serge them. And aside from, well, that, you know, little bitsy bindy stuff tend to go pretty quickly. I also have in the works the Ashland dress by So Liberated. And I'm doing a muslin out of this. And it's my plan to, again, use this as an overdress. Maybe do these out of linen and then slips underneath. Or do them out of wool and, you know, a silk, couple silk slips to wear underneath them for warmth. So it's all about the layering here in the state of Maine, especially in the winter, so you can get away with some of these outfits. So I'll be traveling 45 minutes from my job and breaking down in the winter in your car. You don't want to just be in tights and, you know, bitsy shoes. So I always try to layer up properly, and then I always pack a huge down parka and wool socks, and of course I wear my boots. So yeah, so just thinking about different ways to utilize these outfits and materials that I want to layer. So linen, silk, wool, cotton, obviously, but what, you know, how can I be comfortable and warm and presentable? So let's see. Let's just take a look at some of the other pieces of fabric I pulled. I grabbed this wall, and it's got a lot more blue to it than what you're seeing. I have enough here to do a curlew from the Merchant and Mills. I'm also looking at the date night dress, Maria Horner? I can't remember. And she has a slip pattern, and so does Dottie Angel. So this is going to be a slip of some sort, whether I choose to use the curlew again or try something different. Again, the curlew is cut on the bias and takes a little bit more fabric, and so I believe the date night slip, I think that is, yeah, date night slip is not cut on the bias, and so you might be able to squeeze out, you know, a slip out of this less yardage, as well as the Dottie Angel is not cut on the bias. So I picked that up to do a slip. I also picked up to do another apron, which is the Emmeline by So Liberated. This is the main color, and this is going to be the sash. And I got this couple fabrics so I could do it reversible. So the other side is going to be this woodland fabric. And again, the sash is going to be the yellow flowers. And then the other side will be the boats, maritime, and the yellow flowers. So it seems apropos because I have connections to the coast and, you know, the ocean, and grew up there, but yet I live in the woodlands and mountains of Maine. So the apron kind of is reflective of my two spheres that I am commuting in between and living in between in the state. So that's going to be an Emmeline. I also picked up for a slip or an underskirt, this great fabric. I love it. Paddles and backpacks and canteens, and I love these enamel cups right here. So I'll probably do like a linen overdress and then have this at the top and then the bottom peeking out. So I'm really excited about that. I picked up this, I couldn't resist it. I think I want to do a full-on dress out of the moon phases. And I can't remember, I cannot remember for the life of me who this is. Dear Stella? No, I don't know. And the selvage, of course, is on the bottom. But when I work with it, I'll be sure to tell you the designer's name. I'm sure also if you visit or give Clementine a call or visit her Instagram feed, I'm sure she'll know which the moon phases is. So yeah, so I think a full-on dress with this gorgeous fabric. I don't know what yet. The other thing I picked out to do an overdress, you can see that these two will work together pretty well. This linen, it's a linen cotton blend, and I'm going to either do a schoolhouse tunic in this or an Anne Carolyn smock, and then you can see, I can't see, this as an undercoat, underdress, peeking out from the dark linen. You can also see that this voile slip peeking out from the brown linen would be sweet as well. So lots of layering and, you know, just little details, just little pops. So that was the haul from Clementine for the month of September. I'm hoping to get most of this done in the month. I have a couple events I need to go to, and I'm starting school, and I'd like to have more wardrobe options for that. The only other thing I picked up that I wanted to share with you, and I got this from fabric.com. One of my favorite fabric designers is Irene and Lewis, and I believe they're a British company, because sometimes it's hard to find their fabric here. I got this children feeding reindeer, and I have enough fabric here to do a full-on Anne Carolyn dress or a schoolhouse tunic, but I also thought about doing this again as an underslip, so brown linen or dark black linen, and this as little pops of color maybe underneath and at the top, just something sparkly. But I do have enough to do a full-on garment, and I do love this fabric. I am currently looking for fabrics that match some of the children's books that I use with kids, and I have some really fun fabrics already picked out, but this one I got for kind of a Jan Brett. She wrote the mitten and the hat, kind of Scandinavian folk tales, and I thought this would be perfect. I know I am totally that person that wants to match their children's book. I know. So that is it, and we shall see what happens this month. Here's hoping I can get that all done. I will see you in October, and thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to find out more about my makes, you can visit the Fiber Trek podcast, where I document all my fiber, and you can find me as Fiber Trek on Instagram. All right, see you soon.